So you bought another property, and so you added that to the portfolio. What next?
Yeah, so that was around 2012. I started investing in 2009. And if people were around back then, they were paying attention. That this is where the prices started to come up. And I wasn't cash flowing on properties anymore in Seattle. And I started to become aware of the rent to value ratio that we just mentioned, and a simple rule where you assume that half of your rents are going to go to expenses, which they tend to do. If you're a landlord, you kind of know how things work. So I started to look into different markets. These are more tertiary and secondary markets. So places like Birmingham, Atlanta, Indianapolis, Kansas City, Little Rock. Not the sexy places to live in, but the numbers work really well.
Mm.
1% rent to value ratios on good properties with good tenants. Not your high end, of course. You're not going to be in the places with the best school districts, but not the ghettos. Right? We focus on the workforce housing, the middle class, the middle. Actually, technically, there is no middle class these days, right? It's either the rich or the sort of poor, right?
Yeah,
That's
you're
all
right.
we have these days. But nevertheless, I mean, so I started to buy properties in these places that I never lived in. We call these remote rentals. Bought these things called turnkey rentals. So a lot of these places, you'll have a local rehabber fix up a property, put in new major components like electrical, plumbing,
Yep.
paint. Some of these guys will even put a tenant in there for you. So it's a great way if you're a new investor to get started. And it's kind of like a rental property on training wheels.
Okay.
So that's what I started to do. And around 2015, I had 11 of these rentals, cash flowing a few $1,000s per month. Things were good. I saw the light at the end of the tunnel that I didn't have to work at this engineering job for the rest of my life. And yeah, that was kind of part way in. And that's when I kind of transitioned to being more of an accredited investor and started to transfer my portfolio from a direct ownership model to more of a passive LP investor participating in patients who find placements.